Hello everyone and Happy New Year from Trader's Talk. This is Paris again speaking. I haven't been online for quite a while because markets have been a little bit uninteresting, and I'm gonna actually show you why. And I think this year should be a little bit volatile. My guess could be a little bit more volatile than 2022. But again, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? These are all, again, opinions. So we shouldn't start 2023 with an opinion. Let's start with what the markets have been doing the last month since I last posted the recap video, the weekly recap video. This is gonna be not exactly a weekly recap. It's gonna be more like a monthly recap, and then we're gonna be going on forward every Sunday again with a weekly recap. So again, those three charts are the three daily charts from S&P, Dow Jones futures, and then Nasdaq futures. The last weekly recap, I think it was around early December, so around where my cursor is right now. Now, what has been happening? Yeah, within, let's say, the last year, we could, let's say, you had either a small, not a small, either you had a downwards market or an upwards market, and then suddenly in November it looked like pretty much everyone stopped trading, and we had a range trade for 1.5 months from, let's say, so that was the CPI days, if you all remember, from the 10th of November. So from the 10th of November until late December, it was just, the market was just range trading. This is one of the most annoying let's say periods for traders, because the volume has been dropping. The volume is not evident here because this is the future contract and it rolled into the March contract. But it was pretty low volume, nothing much happening. False break, the false break, and again false break. And on the 13th of December, I don't remember, I think it was a Fed day. Not really, no, Fed day is usually on Tuesday. Must have been a CPI day because the Fed is on a Wednesday always. So that was a false break, and then the market eventually broke to the downside, and we have been again range trading since which day was it? So on the 5th. So we did a false break on the 13th of December in the S&P, probably on a CPI day, and then we broke finally to the downside, and then again installed, I would say, midway from here to here. If we put the Fibos, let's see, actually let's put the Fibos. Yeah, so it's approximately at the 62%. Now, what has been underperforming is the Nasdaq, and that makes sense because, you know, inflation. So higher rates, but I'm surprised that the Nasdaq hasn't been shooting a little bit higher and has been kind of staying at the lower bound of the range. What has been overperforming, obviously, is the Dow Jones. Very impressive up move, is still staying at the quite high levels. And S&P, let's say, I would say it's midway towards more a little bit negative, because I think it's mostly affected more than Nasdaq than the Dow Jones. Again, it was a hectic year until November, so I don't have a problem that the market range traded. Personally, I think I find it a little bit normal because nobody knows what to do. I mean, at one day you have inflation, the next day they're saying they're gonna pause rates, and the market, you know, you remember last summer skyrocketed to the upside for no apparent reason because they thought the Fed was gonna pivot. So I guess traders pretty much got tired. The Fed pivot, the Fed is not gonna pivot. We have inflation, we have disinflation, we have, you know, high oil, and what? So oil, what oil? Oil, let me just show you the daily chart of the oil, not the daily chart. Let's see actually the weekly chart of the oil. So from the Russian invasion, it has pretty much been pointing downwards. So I don't think right now the inflation is caused of the oil. I think the inflation is a lot more systemic than people think. I have been saying this for quite a while. Inflation has been dropping a little bit, but not in levels that the Fed or the ECB would feel comfortable. There is a very high chance that inflation might pick up again. as it did. If you look at history, history, when inflation peaked, inflation has been dropping a little bit down, and no, we don't want the bull. Inflation has been dropping a little bit down, and then again skyrocketing again back to the upside. Again, people, I think people, especially new traders of this new decade, they underestimate inflation. Inflation has proved in the past to be a lot more sticky than people believed, but we live in strange time, we live in erratic times, we live in, let's say, very sudden move times. So you can have a very big sudden move, and I wouldn't say sudden move. I think we live into extreme times, so we have extreme moves in either direction. Was it oil 2020? Was it Bitcoin or whatever? Yeah, all this kind of stuff. So let's see if we're going to have an extreme scenario in any market this year or not. I do not know. So let's watch the bonds. This is the 10-year note. Again, since I would say November, nothing much. Has been slightly going a little bit upwards because of recession fear and because of inflation dissipating. I don't see, I mean, in the real world, I don't think anyone has seen inflation falling. It's just the model has been showing the inflation is falling. Inflation is not falling. The stuff are still pretty expensive, and prices have been going upwards. We will see. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and I think the market projects exactly like this right now. You have sudden moves. On Friday we have NFP, which was a little bit higher than expected, and just the average earnings were a little bit lower, and the 10-year note has done an impressive move to the upside with quite a volume. Again, it's the beginning of the year. As always, speaking from experience, markets tend to pick up on volume on the, I would say, 15th of January, when everybody's coming back. So until then, I don't think any move is pretty much representative of what is going on. Still, unfortunately, what can I say? What we're actually waiting to see what's going to happen is the Fed gonna hike above 5%? Is gonna keep on hiking above 5%? Is inflation gonna pick up again? You know, this kind of stuff. So don't get fooled. This day again can be given back in one day or half a day. I still expect extreme moves either to the upside or the downside. Again, these are the times we live in, but do they make it interesting for day trading? They kind of do. So again, we live in interesting times. I think 2023 might be an interesting year. Do I know what's going to happen? No, I do not know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of it. And we're going to trade what's in front of us. As always. Again, with high volatility, we're going to trade S&P. With low volatility, I do trade Nasdaq because I don't see the, in terms of risk, why should I trade S&P? It's a little bit slow moving. Nasdaq provides more opportunities. It's a little bit more stable with lower volatility. It's a little bit crazy because the market is it's quite thin yet, but I find it a lot more interesting right now to trade than the S&P. I still do some trades in S&P, but a lot less than I do in Nasdaq right now. Again, I trade S&P with a VIX above 25, 27. I don't have anything else to show technically apart from the DAX, which looks like they like higher rates, especially the bank stocks. So pretty impressive, as well as Euro stocks. Feels like we're going to the all-time high back again. Again, nobody knows what's going to happen. Predicting what's going to happen gets you smelly fingers. So you don't want to get smelly fingers. You want to trade what's in front of you. Right. Next week, I don't think we have anything important. The week after NFP is usually in the figure front. You don't have too many stuff. So it's going to be, I guess, some speakers. Some, who knows. If you're gonna hear a tip, if I would buy anything, I would still be buying gold. I have been saying gold the last few years. You don't hear any Bitcoiners right now, do you? So it's about time for gold, especially with the euro going up. Okay, everyone. Until next week, and I'll be seeing you. For those that join the daily webinar, I'll see you there. Ciao, ciao.